Today's Tuesday Talks discussion is Statute of Limitations on books. What are spoilers and what aren't? So let's do this. Hi everybody, it's Lydia here. So as always, I will link the Tuesday Talks discussion group in the description below. If you've never heard of it, go check it out. It's a really awesome group. And this week's topic revolves around spoilers. This is actually a really interesting topic because I've been thinking about this a lot recently when I've been doing reviews. I've just reread the Harry Potter series and I want to do a video on it talking about it in general, and I'm sure there will be lots of spoilers in it. And for that kind of book, I just don't know where to draw the line because so many people know that book. Either they've read the book or seen the movies or both, and it's like, what is a spoiler for that book? So that series really brings up this question a lot, and equally I think books like classics, I'm never sure what is a spoiler and what isn't for those. There are some classics that have been out for hundreds of years and yet I have got through my life so far without finding out anything about what happens at the end, but they've been out for hundreds of years, so you sort of feel like, well, you know, you should have read it by this point. But then equally, you know, it's not like we've been alive for hundreds of years, so we've only had a certain amount of time to read it. But I don't know, it is a real conundrum. Obviously Game of Thrones, in terms of the TV series, like, there's been a lot of issues with spoilers for that. The book's been out for so long, so there are a large number of people who have read it and know what's going to happen, and you could say that, you know, nothing is a spoiler because the books are out there, and, you know, if you haven't read it, that's your fault. But equally, there are so many people who haven't read those books. It's like, you know, where does the line lie with that? It's raised a lot of really interesting questions. I think there are certainly things where, you know, it's just open, and if you haven't read it then you're just gonna get spoiled. Things like Romeo and Juliet, everyone knows what happens at the end of that play. I don't even remember when I found out what happened at the end of that play. I just feel like I've always known. Even if you haven't read that play, seen it on stage or seen a movie of it, you still know what happens at the end. And so for that, it's like, can you really spoil it? Because, you know, how have you got through life without being spoiled already? But as far as like books that have come out over the past 20-30 years, I'm just no spoilers. I always give spoiler warnings for those kind of things, or at least I try to. I'm sorry if I've spoiled anyone. I'm now really worried that I have. I don't like spoilers. I'm one of those people who, like anything, if I buy a book in a series, say if I bought the second book in a series, I wouldn't read the blurb before I've read that book. That is how much I hate spoilers. Like, the blurb doesn't traditionally have much in terms of spoilers, but I just don't want to read anything about what happens in that book. I want to go into a book completely fresh, not knowing anything. The only time I ever read blurbs is when I'm going into something completely new and just want to, you know, decide whether I actually want to read the book. The answer to this discussion is I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just try to avoid spoilers in my videos and in reviews as much as possibly, because it's no fun. It's no fun if you're spoiled for anything. But God knows. Anyway, that is it for me today. I will see you again soon with hopefully a more, like, non-rambly, totally lost video. But until then, bye!